Hi friends, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing another project I created for My Creative Scrapbooks. I'm guest designing for them for the month of September, and I'm super excited to share how I used the scraps from the kit for September to make a fun tag album. And I'm using Simple Stories Book Fair collection and their cardstock stickers and a few die cuts from that collection. This is a super simple project. I am using the leftover cut apart tags to make the album, the base of the album. So simply cutting those out one by one, and I'm just being careful not to leave any edges and uneven. I'm trying to keep them as even as possible. And once I get these all cut out, I'm going to punch a hole through them using my multi-hole puncher that I love. And then I have a metal ring that I had in my stash. It's about 1.5 inches, if you're wondering what size it is. That's the loop I'm using. And then I'm going to punch the holes in here, get the base all lined up and ready to go. And here's what we have so far. And then I'm going to take my foam stickers and I'm going to add them to the tags. I'm taking my foam stickers and my die cuts, and I'm just looking through my scraps to see what will work on the actual tags. And so I'm just looking through, and anything that will work with the tag pages I'm using. And I really like this way of using up my scrap because I don't like to throw anything away. And this will make a great little tag album if you wanted to make one for your children for back to school day. This will work. So then I'm just looking through again, looking for stickers that may work. And don't be afraid to put stickers down at a slight, slight angle and then cutting the excess off. It just helps with the design and makes it more attractive. And then for the stickers, I create them in a banner by just cutting a line through the center of the end of the sticker label, if that makes sense, and then cutting in towards the center at an angle to create the flag. And it's just something you can do. And then this is a 3x4 journaling card. I'm going to cut the image out to use as a die cut for one of the tag pages here. And so I'm just being careful so that I don't cut any of the shapes out that I don't want, especially the little leaf off the apple. And then this is a little big, so I'm going to cut this down just a little bit so that it fits nicely on that tag. And I'm going to go ahead and pop that on there with foam strips just to add dimension, because when I'm done this, it's going to be one fun chunky tag album, which I love. And now there's not too much I need to do with this tag because there's a lot going on as it is. I'm just going to add the clock here. And then I'm cutting the heart from the eraser to glue on the apple. And I was going to put a gem there, but I decided to do that instead. Work with what I have. And then for this one, I'm just going to keep it simple. And I'm going to cut this into a flag, little banner. And pop that on there with a foam strip just to add dimension. And that's really all I'm going to do there. And now I'm looking for some other embellishment. And I am running low because I already created an album using this kit. So like I mentioned in the beginning, I'm using my scraps. So if that happens, just look through your cut apart pattern papers and cut those images out. You can use those as die cuts just simply by cutting them out, fussy cutting them and adding them with foam strips. And then I'm just carefully cutting the glasses out from this print. This was a little harder to do because it's such a fine shape, but it's manageable as long as you have sharp scissors. And then I'll pop that on there with foam stickers. And now I'm going to use this. I love the books here, and I'm going to use this as a fun border for the tag at the bottom. So I'm just fussy cutting this out, and I'm just being careful to follow the shapes of the book so I don't cut anything out that I don't want. And then I'm going to pop this on here using film strips. And this is super, super fun, and I just love this. It's fun and easy, very easy. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop this little die cut on here. And then I'm just looking for something else to put on here. And literally just going through my stash, my scraps, and adding embellishment that will work. And then I do try and make sure that the colors coordinate with the tag itself. Like this is yellow, and I try and follow the format just so it flows nicely throughout the album. And then I'm cutting this out, the sticker to use as a title on here. That's super fun. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop this one. Actually, I was going to use that, but then I decided to move it to use a different one for a different page, because I'm following a color theme here on the tags. And you can see that with the hard work banner with the red and the book smart, that kind of blends in nicely with that tag with the yellow and the color of the books. So I'm going to go ahead and place this down here. And then I Love School, I just cut that down to make it work for me. Okay, I just cut that sticker down and put it on there. And here's what I have so far. And again, super simple. So now I'm back, and I'm going to be adding photos to this. And what I did was I printed photos down to 3x4, and then I used the metal tag die that I had to cut those out. Okay, and then I just needed to trim down some of them, because when I mounted the photos back to back, some of them I didn't do it straight enough. So if that happens, just cut it down a little bit and trim off the excess. No big deal. And then for some of the pages, I'm going to add some stickers, but not a whole lot, because I already have a lot of embellishments on the tags itself. So right now I'm just backing up these photos one by one so that these can go in the tag album. And then we'll punch a hole in there, and then there's a die cut there. And then I'm not going to use a whole lot on these, because I don't want to cover up the pictures. Okay. And then I'm going to back this up. Super simple. And then I figured out the way to line this up so it's not crooked is to start at the top to the bottom. See? And line up the top part and then put it down. And then it seemed to work better than what I was doing. And then if you do happen to find, if you're out of tags and you don't have a tag that you want, but you have the pattern paper, you can use the tag from the cut apart sheet as a template and just cut along the pattern paper, which is what I'm going to do here, because I needed the end page and I didn't have any more tags. So I'm just going to go ahead and place this down and cut around it, because this is the last page of the tag and album, and then I'm going to punch a hole in there. So it's super simple. And there's my album. Super fun. I'm going to add some ribbon to it just to pull it all together. And I hope you found this inspiring. I had a lot of fun making this. I love making little tag albums. It's super fun. And it's a great way to use up what you have. Thanks for stopping by today. And please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. Take care.